Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Yes, I will discuss the air quality. The low pressure system up in the Northeast is the reason why we're starting to get smoke again, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Welcome to the Weather Command Center here in Southwest Ohio, as I'm helping Nathan, keeping an eye on the tropics, and yeah, the air quality's been really bad here. So let's get over to monitor 6. Here's, if you want to check your air quality where you live, go to airnow.gov, airnow.gov. It's a safe, good site to use. As you can see here, Nowcast is 172. You can see the rope right in the middle of it, it looks like. Whoa. Looks like we got a tornado.
We got a tornado right here. See the rope right in the middle of it, it looks like.
Copy that, yeah. It's pretty hazy here again today. I could only spend about 10 minutes outside, and I had to come back inside in the air conditioning. It was over 220 here earlier today. It's down to 172. This morning it was like way up there. Hang on, folks. I got to give over here on the main.
Dude, that lightning go. Lightning go.
It says I'm not 100% on that. I can't say 100%, but it looks like there's a funnel reaching right in the middle of that right there. You can see it right dead center. Yeah, I can't be 100% sure, but it looked pretty good.
They've extended the severe to the east. It's moving southeast at 20 mile per hour. Destructive storm for Bushnell, Kimball, and Dix. Baseball size hail, 60 mile per hour wind gust, and tornado possible damage, threat, destructive. This is the storm right here, folks. You can see she's had a good hook, and it just went toward our. What do
you got that one? I thought that was a tornado.
Yeah, source was emergency management confirmed. So there's our first Torhar, and Nathan got it. Barely he got it. He is south of Kimball, Nebraska, way over in the western part of Nebraska. He's right there, just south of Kimball. And David's a little bit further south. So that was brief. I barely got it switched over to monitor 6 in time to catch the ground circulation on it. This thing has had a hook on it for hours, but it's never had really tight rotation on it. Let's bring up the analyst. Here you can see the this is the area of the tighter rotation. I'll circle it here for you guys. It's right there. He said might still be down. She covered up. Man, look at it sucking all the moisture off the ground. That's the inflow. You can see it's going right into the storm. That's the inflow side. Don't really have a debris signature, but over here on the main, this is the analyst. Look at that hook. And the reason why, if there's a tornado, Nathan can't see it, look how this thing is wrapped all the way around, and we got a donut hole right there. That hail core is wrapped 99% all the way around. That is a really strong hail core, all those purples in there. But yeah, the Weather Channel, let's get over here to the studio. The Weather Channel said this morning that, and it is true, I used to haul baby turkeys for Coopers up into Canada, and you could drive for hours and not see a building. It's all woods. Hey, Southpaw. And I forgot to say hi to everybody else. I'm kind of busy here. But hang on a minute. Before I get to that story.
Right now, but I think there's something still possibly going on.
There's something happening right up in here. If you can see my pointer. There's something still going on in there. Anyway, back over to the studio while I load another program up. I always forget to load programs up. But back in the 80s, when I used to drive truck, you could drive for miles and miles and miles, and all you see is trees. Okay, so what they were saying on the Weather Channel, and it's true, so much of Canada is nothing but trees. There's no houses for miles and miles and miles, and they'll just let those burn. If it doesn't interfere with population, they will just let it burn. And so it's going to burn and burn all summer long. Maybe clear into the fall, we might be having to put up with the Canada smoke bomb, as I call it. They're trying to claim global warming. Naturally, the leftist is trying to push their green energy. But I tell you what, Canada has these fires every year. Every year. The only reason why we're noticing it is because our weather patterns is such, the low pressure system gets up in the northeast, and the backside of the low pressure is bringing the smoke down out of Canada. And that's the reason. I mean, there's more fires probably than normal, but still, it doesn't have a damn thing to do with global warming. They have them every year up there, all across. I mean, pretty much all of Canada is lit up with wildfires right now. Some of them were actually set, they believe, intentionally. Some of them by accident. People, campers not putting out their fires properly. But some of it was by lightning. Some of the storms they've had up there, and it just keeps spreading and spreading. And so we're going to have to put up with it. With this particular weather pattern that we got, we're going to have to put up with it. That big high pressure that's been in Mexico, Texas area is slowly starting to move east. Kat said she hit 100 degrees there in Kansas City. And that's why Nathan has been chasing these storms so far north, is the jet stream is riding over that high pressure ridge that's bringing all the hot air down south. And, the jet stream's running up there and bringing the moisture up into Wyoming, Nebraska, the Dakotas, Colorado, some there in Kansas. But that's the reason why normally this time of year we'd be chasing Texas, Oklahoma, whereas now everything's shoved north. So that's the reason why for that. And that's shoving the jet stream up and over the ridge. It comes back down, goes down into the southeast, and then comes back up with a low pressure system that's been riding that jet stream. As it gets up in the northeast, then we got more Canadian smoke. We had a couple week break from it. Thank goodness. The pressure systems were actually shoving the smoke back north for a while. But yeah, check out that airnow.gov if you want to check your air quality. That being a government website, I believe it more because my weather app that comes in Windows 10 says it's only 141 on air quality index, the AQI, where it's 170 something by the government. For my zip code, you type in your zip code and it'll tell you. If you can just type in new zip codes if you want to look at somebody else's area. And it looks like we might have a little something. I think that's just the updraft and the inflow picking up stuff off the ground. That's what that looks like to me. So, airnow.gov. I just found out about that place today from one of my neighbors. So, at one point earlier today, it was over 220 on the index. It should be 50 or below for good air. Real bad in Canton.
Desert, have we had any video issues at all since you said that stuff earlier? I did zip tie that thing today.
Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you guys following me.
You said the issues were just there.
And for you new people here, this is the Weather Command Center here in Southwest Ohio, where I'm located, near Oxford, Ohio.
Close to as bad as it was. It is better.
It's really hard to do weather for European countries. My radar programs don't work outside of the U.S.
Probably okay.
I wish they did.
More tires left the ground.
I've tried finding some good, sites, but it's all web page based. It's never up to date, so it's really hard for me to report or forecast any weather. Yeah, SPC.
I think the only blips I've seen
is
are that Ethernet modem not being very playful like it was before. But it seems good now.
SPC is only for the U.S. and Puerto Rico. Speaking of stuff like that, I'm listening to them talk about Nathan's equipment. He had a little bit of troubles earlier today. So let's get over here to Monitor 6. We'll do a little update of what's going on in the tropics. This in the Atlantic, this is not Cindy. Cindy was over here this morning. It was remnants. Well, it's totally fallen apart. So this is a new area to watch. But in 7 days, it's only got a 20% chance, and it's going to go north. We got a big old high pressure system out here, bringing in winds around clockwise. It's just going to keep shoving it north. Maybe up to Nova Scotia, but it's not expected to do anything. On the other hand, yesterday's tropical storm turned into a hurricane. Yeah. I just have a hard time when it comes to Europe. I wish I could help you guys out over there. I really do, but I've never found a good site. Adrian is now a hurricane. 80 mile per hour wind, which is Cat 1. 986 millibars. It really dropped overnight. Moving west at 6 miles per hour. Now, this one right here is real interesting. This is Invest 92E. E stands for East Pacific. You see there in the text it says EP92. That's their designation, but we call it Invest 92E. So, yeah, it's only moving 6 miles per hour to the west per Adrian. And this one will probably get a name. It'll probably be a depression because you can see it there at the bottom over the next 2 days. It's got an 80% chance of forming. So we'll take a quick look on the graphical, and I'll zoom in on this for you. Real nice formation on Adrian. It has been a little weak on that northeast or northwest side, but it did have an eye in it earlier today. This is the new Invest 92E. The remnants of Brett kind of came over here, and the energy from it kind of came over here and melded in with this energy. So Brett is still existing somewhat. So 7 days is 90% on this, and when we look at the forecast cones, let's get back to the 7 day. Well, let's do it this way. We'll just go over here. Adrian, I'll show you Adrian real quick first. This is the forecast cone for Adrian. It's only going to stay a hurricane till Friday, or probably late Friday night, and then it'll start falling apart. And the reason why, I will show you here in a bit. It's going to be running into cooler waters, just like I said last night. So here is the global and hurricane model guidance, all the ensembles, and you can see they pretty much all say the same thing. It's going west-northwest, and there's cooler waters. I'll show you here on the graphics here in a little bit, but we got cooler waters. You cross that line right there, and the waters really cool off. So let's take a quick look at Invest 92E, and this is really interesting. A few weeks ago, as far as the monsoon season in Arizona, which starts next month, they were saying that there's not going to be a monsoon season. It's going to be too dry. Well, 92E just might bring some moisture as it comes up from where it's at now and gets up here. It is going to die because starting about Cabo San Lucas north is that line of cooler waters up in here. So it'll kind of die out, and when the tropical storm dies out, it gets larger. And so it should start slinging moisture up towards Arizona. So it's going to be interesting to see if that don't help out with the monsoonal season. Here's infrared of Adrian, and you can see she gets an eye there in that last picture, the last image. She gets an eye in there. It's had that eye a couple times today. We'll take another look. Let's look at visible shortwave. And right at the end here, there's the eye. But she gets kind of weak. She sucked in a little bit of dry air out ahead of it and wrapped it around. Let's pause this on the last couple frames. Well, there's a good picture of the eye. But you can see how she really weakened. There was some dry air that got ingested right in there. Oh, they get some crazy weather over there, man. They don't have tornadoes like we do, but they do get tornadoes. Italy is another country I've seen some really beautiful tornadoes over there. So, looking at the analysis tools, first off, this is the temperature anomaly around the world. And here's our El Nino. Even though, looking at the Southern Oscillation Index earlier today, it's kind of fluctuating. It's not going into a very strong El Nino yet, which is the warming of this area. Let me put this in red. This area right in here is our ENSO. And we still got a lot of warm waters here, but if you watch my stream a few days ago, all of this was really warm waters, and now all of a sudden it's cooled off. Look at them blues. Whites is average temp, blues is below average, and the reason for that is these tropical storms, Brett, Cindy, and there was another tropical wave that's earlier today was hitting the islands, the Lesser Antilles, and that sucked up a lot of the water off the surface, so now cooler water's replacing it, and that's the reason why you see the blue dots in there. Let me zoom into the East Pacific. And this is what I was talking about. See, from about Cabo San Lucas, right there, and down, anywhere north of that line is really below average temps, like actually down in the 60s up by San Diego. So this is Adrian here, and it's going to be going like this. So it's going to hit them cooler waters and die. Going into El Nino, you have the warming of the East Pacific waters. So Central Pacific, this is Hawaii right here. You can see it's below average going over here. North of there now it's above average temperatures, but Hawaii is such a small little place out in that huge ocean that they rarely get tropical storms, but they do, but it's rare. And right now, this time of year, with all these blues in here, there is no tropical storm that's going to exist out in here. It'll just die out. Yeah, Antarctica. They get snow nados. Forecast models. I'm only going to look at, let's go 5,000 feet. Look at the...
when you stop, give that Ethernet modem unplug, replug,
Eastern Pacific.
cycle
Right there's
places.
Adrian.
That cycling annoyance
That's
again.
Adrian. Watch what Adrian does. And this is 92E. See how it hugs the Mexican coast? And see how Adrian comes out here and dies? That's because it's running in that cooler water. Right here is Cabo. And that line I was talking about is starting to run into that cooler water right there at that point. And then it kind of looks like the energy, according to the GFS, gets sucked into 92E, but then 92E starts curving out. So it gets in them cooler waters and dies as well. It's just not right time for it. What they call the PDO, which is a Pacific Oscillation, is the reason for the cooler waters right off the California coast. And until that warms up, California might get some rain from this if it decides to shove up. But
It's like they continue the tornado warning.
yeah, I haven't got it moving into Colorado yet. That should be Denver's WFO. So, so no good hurricanes right now. I mean, Adrian's only going to be a Cat 1 hurricane. It's not going to get any stronger according to the latest forecast models. So, we might get some pretty satellite images off of it. And I don't know if you guys has ever seen this, but let's get over to GR Earth. If you guys keep up with the satellite off of California, you always have this marine layer out here. That's all part of that PDO. The cooler water temperatures. There's always clouds off the coast. Sometimes come into the coast. But all this milky, weak-looking clouds, that's all over that cooler water. And there's Adrian as I'm starting to lose daylight for the satellite. Let's switch over to Goes West, maybe get a better look. Yeah, a little bit better look. And there's the infrared look. You can see it's still got an eye. The storms are totally all the way around it. Oop, we got something on it. That's spinning.
Oh yeah, that's definitely spinning. Number 2.
All right, you got another one. That's on the ground. You don't always see the condensation funnel go all the way to the ground. And that's picking up in intensity too.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't see that condensation funnel up in here. But this whole thing is rotating. Man, look at that. It's getting stronger. Finally, this thing produced a good one.
Damn! Let me guess, you guys aren't going to think that's condensed either?
There's a radar down in the corner.
Look at that! Holy smokes!
Yeah, it'll eventually connect.
Holy smokes! Look at
Wow, that is awesome, dude. Yeah, you might see some satellites.
I'm sitting here and
Yeah,
my
on the
jaw's
left side.
floor. That is awesome.
On the right side. Multi-vortex.
planted!
That thing is planted big time.
Sitting here and my jaw's on the floor. That is awesome.
So now the condensation funnel is filling in with the dirt
That's what I thought. Mic drop.
instead of moisture.
Let's go!
That thing's a beast. That's sweet. And if you look on the satellite view on the right-hand side, there in the corner, you can see where the green and red is together. That's the tight rotation that we always look for. And on the left side, you can see the hook. So the tornado is right in that area.
Holy crap! Look at this thing!
That is awesome. Virtual high five. Yeah. That was great to see that totally form. That was awesome. A little hard to tell.
Satellite on the left.
Yeah, I got satellite over on the left. Multi-vortex. Totally form. That was awesome. And before anybody says, "Oh, that looks like an EF5 or an EF4," you never know. For one, it may not get rated at all if it stays out there in the middle of the field. Yeah, a lot of times when there's tornado involved, there'd be some really quick, snappy lightning strikes. You'll even see them right before the tornado drops. They shrunk the Tor R up.
Big tornado on stream.
So Denver extends it with a severe. Extended it with a severe. Tornado possible. Duh. Extends it with a severe. Extended it with a severe. Tornado possible. Duh. They ain't watching Nathan's stream or it'd be Tor R. But that's out of Denver.
Let's frickin' go. Let's frickin'
You can see this yellow triangle. Let's go back over the main real quick. This yellow triangle, that's sticking down into Colorado, and they only put a severe. And if you look at the velocities, she is tightening up again. So it's not done. Now, it's not into Colorado yet. Almost. Where the purple box and the yellow box come together, that's the state line. And if you don't know what WFO stands for, that is the Weather Forecast Office of the NWS. So, as this thing moves into Colorado, then Denver WFO will pick it up and give all the warnings on it. Looks like she might be falling apart. Still got tight rotation. I'm looking at a little over 4,000 feet on radar. Can't believe they only put a severe on it when it was on the ground. I don't have a debris signature on it, and that's because it's only picking up dust and dirt. It's not going to show up on CC. But it's still got real tight rotation right there. Well, new scan, scooted over. Where the reds and greens come together there with that yellow, that's tight rotation. Large tornado on the ground, reported 11 miles south of Kimball.
Northeast of you.
To me, it doesn't look like it's still on the ground, but it could be. Yeah, it don't look like it. Looked like it picked up. Ah, now Denver put a Torar on it.
That was pretty.
Okay, Denver did go ahead and put a Torar on it.
There's a tornado warning.
Hey, thanks, Lori. Appreciate sub 28 months now. Congrats. Appreciate that a lot.
With NCIS, we're investigating the crash.
Extends it with a severe. Extend it with a severe. Tornado. I'll watch it out, Lori. Thank you. Thanks for the clip. So yeah, they did extend the Torar down into Colorado. Once there was a tornado report into Cheyenne that it was a large tornado on the ground, which even though it's in Nebraska, the WFO is actually Cheyenne. They're closer than North Platte, so they're covering that area as far as I know. Let me double check. Yeah, it was out of Cheyenne, the original Torar.
We probably need to get the hell out of here because it is getting kind of close. I'm sorry. I would love to sit here and stare at it. It's getting time to go.
It's still ramped up pretty tight. Denver's Torar says moving southeast at 25 mile per hour, damaging tornado. Weather spotters confirmed. As if you didn't already know that. Yeah, it's still fairly tight over here on the right side of the screen. That's still fairly tight rotation, but I don't think it's on the ground. It's probably going to recycle.
Debris crossing the road in front of me here.
Apparently he's got debris on the road in front of him. Yeah, his stream went pixelated. I couldn't see it. Number 309, career tornado high. Oh, I tell you, Cincinnati's about ready to go nuts. We got thunderstorms moving in for Friday, and they're going to have like 80,000 people show up for Taylor Swift concert. I would not pay the kind of money they charge to go see her. I don't really like the gal anyway. But a lot of those people aren't going to get in, and we're going to have probably some severe storms. I know one of her concerts, it costs like $2,500 for a half-ass seat. If I pay that much for a doggone ticket, I want her to spend a week with me. $300 for a lower box? Jesus. When I used to go to concerts back in the 70s at Cincinnati Gardens, they tore it down now. Several years ago they tore it down, but that's where they held all their concerts before they had stadiums. And man, we were bitching if it was $20. I was in a rock band, so naturally, the music that we played, I'd like to go to their concerts, to see the drummer for like Grand Funk Railroad, Alice Cooper, Chicago. I went to go see Chicago. That was actually my first concert because we played that song 25 or 6 to 4. So, Nathan went offline. But yeah, I used to go see all my favorite artists, Humble Pie, Black Oak, Arkansas, all the good old rock bands. Hey, Etchy. This stream went to crackling. Usually it'll auto-fix itself. They got it set up to auto-fix, but it's going to be right back screen for some reason. One thing I could take a look at over here on the main screen, monitor 1, let's look at the echo tops. Nathan's right there. The clouds are about 36,000 feet right there where his beacon's at. So Starlink starts to crap out when the clouds get up that high. These areas up here, over 50,000 foot tall in this storm. I see 51, over 51, 51,000 feet. Yeah, he came back and it's crackling, but it'll fix itself. You play bass because of Grand Funk? I used to go to all their concerts, every concert in Cincinnati I went to, and their last one, that's when their album was shaped like a coin. Yeah, I know Desert Sun. I'm watching his stream too in his chat. But that last album that they did, when the concert started, Black Oak, Arkansas played first, and then Grand Funk came on, and half the crowd walked out on them. Half the crowd walked out. It was ugly.
Static on the stream by chance?
Yeah, it's already fixed. It fixed itself. It was just low data because it was cycling.
But yeah, that was the worst concert that I ever went to. And I went to him for years. Yeah, Mark Farner. Brewer was the drummer. I can't remember the bass player's name. Yeah, we used to play a lot of their songs. I'm Your Captain. Yeah, Mel. God, I'm brain dead right now. I can't think of some of the songs that they did that we did. I see Mark Farner. He's actually been out and doing crap on his own. It's Friday. It's supposed to be bad. Yeah, Locomotion. I got the words in my head right now from Locomotion. American Band was another good song. But yeah, their last concert here in Cincinnati totally sucked. Oh yeah, Mean Mistreater. I used to, oh man, headphones on, cranked up to that song. Now I've got the words of part of the words in my head from that one. I used to sing on some of those. Sing harmony. So it's not looking near as good right now. You can see over my shoulder the greens and reds aren't real bright. Big Boss, how you doing, Fred? Here comes the subs. Here comes the subs. 35 months, wow. Oh man, you always know when Big Boss shows up. You know, maybe I didn't catch it last night, but I'm surprised with all the gifted subs that I didn't have a hype train. I don't remember seeing that we had a hype train. But maybe I missed it. Why'd you do that for?
There's lives. There are animals. The equipment is fine. It's just that area, even with Starlink.
Yeah, Mean Mistreater was a really good song. I don't know. You was giving them awful quick, and there was another sub. There was 11 subs altogether. I'm surprised it didn't go hype train. Well, we appreciate that, Big Boss. A lot of people just can't afford to, you know, right now. Times are tough for a lot of people. And I totally understand. I mean, it's tough on me living on disability and trying to keep all the equipment running. Oh, you're not old enough, Kat, to know the bands. They were in the 60s and 70s. Any other tropical storms in the Pacific? Adrian and Invest 92. That's the only ones right now. Sharon's being mean. Jeez, Sharon. We used to. Oh God, there's so many songs that we did. We was playing in junior high and high school. We did some Jimi Hendrix, actually. But oh gosh, I had it right on the tip of my tongue of another one. Oh gosh. Well, believe it or not, back in the 80s, I was actually a disc jockey and a discotheque. I was in between bands, and I was a disc jockey there for a while. Then I moved back up to Northwest Ohio, and that's when I got in my last band, which we were together for over 20 years. There was a few breaks in those 20 years, but then we'd get back together again. And we did recordings, especially when, we did some recordings when we was playing country rock and roll, but most of our CDs that we made was, we quit playing in bars and clubs and switched to gospel, country gospel music, and played in different churches and that. And so we put together our own recording studio, waiting for the storm to do something here, to bounce back. I'm trying to find a picture here. Maybe I got it on my desktop. Oh, here it is. This is, you can't see the whole drum kit, but that's an 18-piece electric drum kit. And that was me recording. Yeah, that's me recording. And actually, being an electronic drum kit, we didn't have to have a soundproof studio. As you can see, that's a garage door behind me, because that had stereo outputs, and I was connected directly to a computer with a recording software on it, so I didn't have to be in a soundproof room. But yep, that's me. There's a tom there. There's another one over here. There was this one here. There's two down that you can't see. This is a cymbal. That's a cymbal. Hi-hat was down over here. I had 4 pedals. Another cymbal up here. There's two little toms up here and 2 little bit larger ones there. It was 18-piece altogether that I put together. Yeah, we've put out quite a few CDs, and then we kind of broke up. They got me to sit in the church that the rest of the band was going to. This was after my cancer and my stroke, and I had to quit playing for a while. But they did get me to sit in for their drummer a couple times. I miss not playing drums. I haven't played drums since 2014, I think. Yeah, I think it was 2014 last time I played drums. I still got them. They're upstairs in one of the bedrooms. If you notice in that picture, I had my head down. I close my eyes when I play most of the time. I played for so many years, I know where everything is. Especially that
They put out a PDS
that electric kit.
a little bit to the east of that road, all the way almost to Pete's, kind of hugging the state line. A large dangerous tornado was located by Kimball Airport, about 12 miles south of it, basically.
But I totally designed that electronic drum kit setup. Had a mounting rack, and
Yeah, it looked like across the road, right where we were sitting.
all the cords were all measured to length and made into a harness. So whenever I had to do a setup,
PDS,
I knew exactly where all the cords went to.
state border.
But since I knew where exactly every position of everything, it was the same way every time I played. The way I had the connectors and everything, as soon as I unfolded the rack, then the toms mounts were all positioned in the same place every time. And I actually had 2 snares too, by the way.
It's moving east at 30.
It's still got some strong rotation, but I don't think it's on the ground right now. I tried playing keyboard, and I actually played a little bit of guitar at one time back in the 70s. And in the 90s, I bought a guitar. Yeah, it's a PDS. Particularly dangerous situations, what PDS stands for. But I say it's pretty damn serious now. You can see there in the text. Particularly dangerous situation right there. Oh, he said it was pretty damn serious. Teaching a boy bad habits. Radar indicated tornado. Let's get analyst up here. Yeah, definitely got possible fallout. Let's mark this. Pick a good color. I can't use that. I'll use black. So we're going to mark this area, right? And then, is that where the rotation is? Yep. That where the hook is? Yep. Yeah, I got a pretty good debris signature on this thing now. That's the best way to do that, because sometimes CC, you'll see this blue in here, but it's misleading. So you got to compare the fallout on correlation coefficient to where the hook is and the tight rotation is. So that tells me that's actually a debris signature. Oh God. See, I grew up in a musical family. My mom, before I was born, Mom and 2 of her sisters had a trio, and my grandfather, my mom's dad, actually had his own machine to make 78 speed records, the old 78s before the 33 and the thirds, way before I was born. And somewhere somebody's got all those records that my grandpa made. So and even a lot of times when we had family get-togethers, my 2 aunts would start singing with Mom. My one aunt, she had a emerald green Gretsch hollow body guitar with gold on it. Everything was gold covered, gold pickups and the twang bar and the bridge. Everything was gold plated. Beautiful guitar. Oh, it was gorgeous. So rotation really weakened down on this here on the right side, and the hook's not well defined either. If there is something in there, it's going to be right here would be the hook, the core hooking around. Oh, that was a beautiful guitar. I don't know whatever happened to it when she passed away. I never did find out. But it was an old ass guitar. I mean, that guitar was probably older than me, because I can remember it when I was a little kid. And she had had it for years, so. If there's a tornado, it's back up in there. Let's see if I still got a debris signature on this. I still got a pretty strong fallout on CC on this. It might still be on the ground. Timed him out again? Damn, Sharon. I still got a pretty strong fallout on CC on this. It might still be on the ground. Oh. Hey Joey, yeah, this is live. That's my storm chaser Nathan Moore. That's his stream and my radar overlaid there in the corner. This is the storm that he got a beautiful tornado on. I'll have to find the clip later for it. Yeah, Joey, welcome to the Weather Command Center here in Southwest Ohio. This is my setup. Yeah, he had it. Nathan had that tornado from all the way from the very beginning. It just starting to kick up dust on the ground. No condensation funnel, and then the thing just got huge. Yeah, this is, we're chasing, well, Nathan's chasing out in Nebraska, western Nebraska. Now he's into northeast Colorado. Just about anything goes in a burger, as long as it has their gentle 100% real natural cheese. So they extended just a regular tour into the Colorado side. It's not PDS anymore. Moving east at 25. Nah, I'm nowhere near Trump's voice, and I got a hell of a lot more hair than he does. And mine's not a toupee. You know, I've been called a lot of things, but I've never heard that about my voice. Oh my God, you guys are nuts. Oh no, there won't be an EF rating until a survey's done by the National Weather Service. And most of that was hitting out in the field, so it may not get a rating at all. Because I didn't see no trees where it was hitting. It was just wide open field. So unless it does damage to trees, telephone poles, or structures, then they'll be able to give it an EF rating. It was pretty strong, though. No, it wasn't rain wrapped. It was dirt wrapped. It was sucking up dirt big time, and it got huge.
Rescue 3 wounded members of this
Let's see here. Let me.
LJ and Jackson Gibson still was up on the wall at the general store.
Hang on. I got a clip from where I was sharing this stream. That's it right there.
Anybody want to doubt me again? That's what I thought. Mic drop.
Yeah, Pecos, he's pretty cool. I've actually got to borrow some videos of his, a little bit of it on my intro. But that's the tornado right there that we seen a little earlier.
Sitting here in awe, my jaw's on the floor. That is awesome.
Boom, chat! Anybody want to doubt me again?
She's here, she's waiting an interrogation. She is a priest.
And it's probably rain wrapped now, but it's still on the ground. Yeah, Nathan's got top-notch equipment for his live stream. He's running 6 cell modems, and he also has Starlink satellite dish on top of his car.
That looks like the one I got from home. How did you get? Why did your brother go?
Yeah, we both have Storm Chaser IRL is his Twitch and YouTube. Let's see here.
To arrange and actually fire. It scared the hell out of me.
Oh, crap. Hit the wrong thing.
Take it. Last week.
There's my YouTube channel. I post some of my VODs over on YouTube. I don't live stream over there anymore. I used 2 years ago. I also post drone videos and stuff like that over there.
He said I'm a student.
Appreciate you finding my channel, man. That's great. Be sure and I appreciate that, Joey. Yeah, I'm trying to build my YouTube channel back up. I used to have about 1,000 followers, but then YouTube kind of pissed me off, and I left YouTube and came to Twitch. But now I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel again, so it's greatly appreciated. Other than my stream VODs, it's mostly, you know, like drone videos and other stuff that's over there. You're in Sweden? Cool. I love Sweden. I'd love to go there someday. Sea funnels, we call them water spouts over here. You do get some nasty tropical weather that swings up and around the Atlantic and comes down on you guys sometimes. You get all the high winds and pouring rain. Yeah, Sweden is on my bucket list. I would just love to go to Sweden. Yeah, every now and then you guys will get one. Get your Earth down here. You know, sometimes our hurricanes in the Atlantic will they'll swing, you know, come up like this if they don't hit land, and then they go way up in the jet stream, and sometimes they'll come back down over towards England and Ireland, and sometimes probably mainly in the fall is the ones that you're getting hurricanes that are down here in the southern Atlantic that'll come up here and smack you guys. Nothing big going on right now. We got an area to watch right here. Only 20% chance in 7 days of forming. We do have some tropical waves, which I forgot to show you guys. Yeah, it's kind of died out. There was a tropical wave that hit the islands there. We got a tropical wave there. We got another one there. And then we got this big storm over here on Africa that's going to be coming off. But like I was showing earlier, Joey, the water temps is real cool right now in the Atlantic, so I don't see any of these tropical waves forming. U.S. is really unique over here to the studio. The one thing that makes the U.S. so unique for tornadoes and severe storms is we have two mountain ranges. We have the Rockies and that. Yeah, I'm watching him, Lori. It's hard to tell if there's anything there. It's rain wrapped. But and then we got an eastern mountain range. And so the convergence of the air patterns between the two mountain ranges usually comes together in like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska area for the severe storms. Also, we have the Gulf of Mexico that supplies the moisture, all the moisture that those storms need. Yeah, United States is the only one that has hundreds of tornadoes per year. And this is the area we're chasing. The storm is moving out of the western Nebraska and going to northeastern Colorado. Baltimore, they've been getting pretty wet up there. I think they've been getting some strong storms today. At least I thought they was. Yeah, the Northeast rarely gets tornadoes. But every state, except I think Alaska, at least all the 48 states, the main part of the U.S., every state gets tornadoes. It's just some states you won't hardly get any for a long time, but yeah, if you're not watching Nathan on Twitch, be sure and follow him. I don't have a command. I should have a command for him, but most people come from Nathan's stream. But it's Storm Chaser IRL. So yeah, give him a follow. That's the one that I'm watching over here on my monitor 6. He puts his VODs in that. Also, he has he's got 2 channels over on YouTube, I think now. One's a 24/7 of past chases. Same way as Storm Chase _TV on his Twitch is a 24/7 channel of past chases. Cool. Yeah, he'll appreciate that. A lot of people get confused between. I have people over on my YouTube that flat refuses to come to Twitch because they don't understand. Because subbing at YouTube is the same as follow on Twitch, and they get confused. And so I got over 900 people, I think it is, or I know it's over 800 over there on YouTube that flat refuse to come to Twitch. He might have some. I don't like the rotation, but
Real creamy, real fruit.
let's see what he's got over here. It's rain wrapped.
To make it happen. What's called keratin of striking hair. The world sees.
That leads me to believe it's probably still on the ground.
Yeah, it's a possibility it could be on the ground still. Let me check CC.
Great prices on sandals for the entire family and 50% off furniture. And Kohl's cash too.
I still have a pretty strong debris signature on it, and it's right there where the tighter area rotation is. So it's possible it could still be on the ground.
I don't know if you heard me, but you can see the that thing of dust going all the way up to the sky. So it's definitely on the ground somewhere. You can see the different colored dust going up.
Yeah, I got you full screen on a 24, but I couldn't hardly tell.
You can see the different colored dust.
You always feel weird. Huh. Oh man, we got a great crew here. We don't put up with no crap here either. Just watch out for oh snap Sharon. Oh, she's my band hammer. But no, we got a really great crew here. Really good fans. Everybody's easy to get along with here. We always make sure of that. I'm old school too, dude, man. I'm 66 years old.
I didn't know if I should make this play going to the north. I'm glad I did.
I didn't know if I should make this play go.
Oh wow, thanks for those gifted subs there, Joey, and your sub too. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me to keep all of this stuff up and running. I'm running all this off of one computer right now, by the way. So greatly appreciate the subs. I always feel old. I don't need any help doing that. I Spy San Diego. You know, I haven't watched the San Diego webcam hardly much since they lost the cameras down at Point Loma, where the ships go in and out. Oh God, yeah, storm chasing. When I first started storm chasing, it was like 1981, and no cell phones. The only people that had radar was NWS, so we had to have, through my ham radio club, we had to have a liaison from the National Weather Service that would give us radar reports like I'm doing Nathan. And all I had was a handheld walkie-talkie, ham radio. And it was rough chasing back in the 80s and 90s, even the early 2000s. But I got disabled and had to quit chasing. My last big chase was in 2015. I went to Atlanta, Georgia. I flew down there and met up with a storm chaser friend of mine, and we drove all the way to Mississippi and chased in Mississippi. And he paid for all that. That was my birthday present. January, storm chasing in Mississippi, and we got a nader. We got one across the road right in front of us. But then I had a local chase here, a couple local chases around me, my son driving. But yeah, with the technology, which these programs that I'm using, the Gibson Ridge products, they are exactly what the Weather Channel was using. Now they got some real fancy graphical software, but it's still based off of Gibson Ridge products, which is what I use. Oh, thank you, Joey. Yeah, we do this for fun, but more important for the science. And the reason why I do my this is what I call behind the scenes, helping storm chasers, is I get to educate people and teach them stuff. I had a woman down in Alabama. She was scared to death of storms, and there was a tornado warned storm coming right at her, and I helped her through it. And with everything I taught her not to be scared of storms, but respect them. And so the more knowledge you have of storms, the safer you will be, because you'll learn to be safer and respect the storm. So that's my way of helping to keep the public safe. And even during hurricane season, like earlier, I did reports on Hurricane Adrian, which is in the East Pacific, down there off the west coast of Mexico, and I do that all year round too. And there's been times where I was able to forecast a hurricane hitting land, like Florida or Louisiana, or something like that, or even Texas. And Nathan actually goes down and chases them. And then I help him with radar on it. But I'm able to give out advance warnings that most people would not get for the hurricanes. So yeah, I've been a storm chaser since 1981, but I can't travel hardly anymore. So I do the behind the scenes instead. It's my way of giving back to the public. And the storm, I don't know, it's not looking near as good. It's starting to get kind of far away from the radar site, but it's still the best radar to use. But you're welcome in anytime, man. Don't be a stranger. I know it's getting pretty late over there. Still got rotation in it, but it's getting ready to move in the folding area. So these purples over here on the right, that's scattering of the radar beam. Oh yeah, storms is awesome. I've actually been interested in storms ever since I was a little kid, 4 or 5 years old. I wanted to go chase the storms, but Mom would always run from them. My mom was scared to death of storms. And I've always been out in nature whenever I can. It's harder for me now, but yeah, it's a bad time right now. Our economy sucks over here. Prices are too high. I can't hardly afford groceries now after I pay my bills. My son actually has to help me. Yeah, I got some times in a physics class too. Killer Gaming, hey, thanks for the follow, man. Yeah, everything's tight with the president that we got right now. While we're waiting for Nathan to get in a better spot. Remember last night, guys, I was talking about the things that our president is trying to ban. This is only part of them. Naturally, he's trying to get rid of cars and trucks. He wants everybody to go all electric. That's impossible. Gas stoves. They have banned gas stoves in some states. Light bulbs. Light bulbs are racist. Believe it or not, that's what the Democrats say. Light bulbs are racist. Toilet bowls are raceless. You got to get a bidet. Air conditioners, refrigerators, washers and dryers, microwaves, shower heads. What? Shower head? How is shower head against the green agenda. Dishwashers, mobile homes. They're trying to ban mobile homes. And also gas furnaces, which I heat with a gas furnace. It's bullcrap about the light bulbs. Now, I've got all LED bulbs. It don't bother my eyes. The LEDs that I got don't bother my eyes. Now, some LED bulbs, people can't stand them because they say they can see the flickering in it. So, but they're wanting us to be living in the dark. We'd have to grow our own food because they do away with cars and trucks. My son's a truck driver, third generation truck driver. They get rid of diesel trucks. Who's going to deliver the food? Electric truck won't. You know, you'll spend more time charging an electric semi than the time on the road. Trump 2034? Get it right there, Etchy. Now, without dealing too much into politics, I don't care who you vote for. Well, in a way I do, but I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. Just vote. Something's got to change. I learned today, while Nathan's moving, I learned today that the government is trying to pass a deal that if you own a home, they want a piece of it. When you own a car, they want a piece of it. It's called a wealth tax. If you got stocks, now, by law, you don't have to pay tax until you draw the money out of the Wall Street, out of the stock market. Well, now the government is wanting a piece of it. Now, when you buy a home, you've already paid taxes on your income to buy that home, right? And you paid taxes when you bought the home. And now they want to tax you again. I don't own anything, so just my computer. I used to have a house. Darn ex-wife. Yeah, they're actually, our government, they want people to stay home and not work. Believe it or not, that's what they want. They want to turn this into a socialist country like Mexico. But that's enough of my rant. Back to the weather. Oh man, this thing's going in the folding area. I'm getting so much scattering on velocities. I can't tell what's going on inside this thing. Oh yeah. I've known some good Democrats as well as Republicans. I also know a lot of bad Democrats and bad Republicans. It's all part of politics. Yeah, I'm too old too. That is awesome. That's the Hail Corps. It's dumping some hail there. Leave it to the kids. Notice down at the bottom down here, look what direction.
There could be our tornado right in front of this truck.
Yeah, I see it. Let me point out. It's right there. It's on the ground. Yeah, this is the hail core back over here. Whoops, he moved the camera on me. Yeah, that's the tornado right there.
Thanks. Oh my god. You were told there was a murder in your car.
Yeah, I guess I just followed up.
There's so much clutter down here at the bottom, you can't really see it on the ground, but he did see debris coming up, so. Yeah, the hail is off to the left. The tornado's behind it.
Top 1,000 bitties. Wow.
Looks like it lifted.
Where would you ask?
The biggest tornado that I ever chased was an EF4.
That would be number 3, chat. That would be number 3.
I've never seen an EF5, which is the largest. I think that makes 3 tornadoes for today. Yeah, the El Reno. That thing was nasty. And the Joplin. Those were horrible tornadoes. I was watching Weather Channel as those happened. But now, the largest tornado that Nathan chased was the Rowlett, Texas EF5. I was helping him. That was the largest tornado that I helped a storm chaser. Yeah, the Rowlett Garland, Texas tornado, east of Dallas.
Come back down. Come back down.
The closest I ever got to a tornado was in 2012.
There you go.
Yep, there's a funnel again. I actually got hit by a strong EF1 tornado.
100 bitties.
Yeah, Nathan, you're right close to that 2.5-inch hail, 70 severe. Actually, we're in the beginning of the first season. We typically have 2 seasons, one in the spring, which it's getting kind of late in the first season. The tropical weather.
A tornado dropping down right in front here, so I had to stop and look at it.
Yeah, Nathan, you're right close to that 2.5. Yeah, I was watching. Got you full screen. I was showing people where it was.
Karma's good side cheered.
But then the hurricane season,
Still spinning right there.
which has already kicked in, and then our severe storms will slack off during the summer months, and then in the fall we get severe weather again. The changing, when you got the changing of the temperatures, cold to hot, and then in the fall, the opposite, you got the hot with the cold influence coming, closer to wintertime, and those difference in temperatures stir up a lot of severe weather. But we have tornadoes year-round here in the U.S. Like I say, in 2015, that was in the 3rd of January. Oh, God. If you look on his stream, he's got a total of 306. We've actually got more than that. It's like 310, I think. his total tornadoes. And for just this year, he's gotten it's either 33 or 34 tornadoes just this year on camera. That's not counting the ones that wasn't on camera.
On the ground again! Shit! You can barely
I heard him say it's on the ground again, but I don't see it. For today, I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4. I'm getting tired. Yeah, 4 today, so he's got 310 for his total of tornadoes that he's caught, and 34 just for this year. Todd's got to make him some new graphics. 311 now?
We all know that
Oh, okay.
we need a will.
You're keeping count?
Trusted will has taken
I don't know, man. I've seen so many tornadoes, it's gotten to where I can't hardly remember them all.
will is decided by attorneys.
Yeah, I really can't see on the storm relative velocities because of all that scattering on the right side of the radar screen there in the bottom corner.
Deals you won't want to. There's tees and tank tops. Prices on sandals for
Nathan's got a pretty good when he has a hype train. He has a pretty good music list put together that he plays during his hype train.
there's a chance.
Thunder Rolls is a good one. Garth Brooks song.
Unlike some medicines that only treat bipolar
There's a funnel in there.
and to depression, and in clinical trials,
Now, if you look real close, that range going from right to left between him and the funnel cloud. Oh, he's got so many in the list, I can't even think of all the names of the storms. So I tell you what, guys, I'm starting to hurt really bad sitting here. So I think I want to go ahead and end the stream for tonight. So yeah, Radar Love, that's a good one. I don't think he plays that one, but that's a good old song, Radar Love. So anyway, everybody, thank y'all for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I wish I could stick around longer, but I've been sitting in this chair for a little bit too long. And so I'm going to end the stream. We will be chasing again tomorrow, as far as I know. And naturally, I'll still do the tropical updates as well. So if I'm not helping the Storm Chaser, I typically do a live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So look for you guys tomorrow. Joey, be sure to come back if you can, man. We appreciate you being here and chatting with us. I'd like to meet as many people as I can. Big Boss, Sharon, everybody, Kat, everybody else that's still in here. I'm showing 54 people here, so I don't know everybody by name. But anyway, thank y'all for being here. And what we say on this channel is peace. Top and top for me. I'll catch you on tomorrow's broadcast. Good night, everybody.